So yesterday, my grandmother passed away, and I thought I'd honor her by giving her a mention on this podcast. Her name was Lena, and that's it. So hi, my name is JC, and welcome to the Wild Birds podcast. So last night I was wondering, and I was thinking about how I could relate my grandmother to today's episode, or to today's podcast. And what I remember, and the thing that I know is going to connect Brad, is the fact that my grandmother was an avid gardener. She was a plantita before the word was cool. I remember that as a child I would run around her garden when she would ask us for help. And what I clearly remember, that I would look for her itak, or machete or whatever, and just look around her garden and see what plant was a good plant to sort of hack and slash. And I never realized the work involved to make a plant grow and to make it flourish, only for me again to kind of hack them to shreds. So, and what was amazing to me was that she could basically grow whatever she wanted to in that garden, and all around the house. So that was amazing, and she did that without the internet. So if you compare that to life now, I mean, anyone can learn anything that they want to, or that they gravitate towards because of the internet. It's just with one click of a button. But with her, she was born in 1940, and I'm pretty sure that growing up, all of the information that they wanted to obtain, they first had to get out of their house and go to a library if they didn't have the book in their house. So that was amazing to me, and I'm just trying to imagine what sorts of plants that I couldn't forget, and one thing or one plant comes to mind, and that's her chilies. So now I'm trying to sort of grow my own chilies as well, and I couldn't for the life of me get them to flourish, much less survive, but I clearly remember that we had the most beautiful chili plants around the house, and they were abundant. So it got me to think about these about the word green thumb, and I'm certain that my grandmother had a green thumb. And it brings me to recently my sister and some of my friends would comment how I don't have a green thumb, because whatever I plant in the garden that I'm trying to build right now, it grows, but it doesn't last, it doesn't survive. And that made me think, if people are born with a green thumb, or if people are born good at something, is a green thumb or is talent cultivated over years of doing the same thing over and over again. And as far as talent goes, we can go even deeper and look at prodigies, like child prodigy. There's 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old kids who are amazing musicians, or mathematicians, or they know geography and all that stuff, but were they born with it, or as children they just gravitated towards it, and that their parents just supported them, gave them ways for them to interact with the thing that they love the most. So why am I talking about talent? I interact occasionally with bakers, home bakers and micro bakers alike, who sometimes they say that they're embarrassed, or they don't feel comfortable about selling, much less giving it away, or their breads away, because they're not happy about the aesthetic. And I would always tell them that the fact that you're making something as good as sourdough, people actually, like 99.9% of people actually appreciate that fact, and they would happily pay for that. I cannot begin to tell you how many people at the market, they were adamant that they pay me for the breads that I took to the market, but which back then I also felt shame with putting them out, but I didn't felt enough shame to not give them away for free. So I was like, yeah, I mean, this looks ugly, but I'm giving it for free. And most, 9 out of 10 people actually insist that they pay me. because they're happy about it. And again, why am I saying this? So if you're a home baker or if you're a micro baker, don't worry about not achieving, the breads that that the baker that you aspire to be has. 99% of the time, people will thank you for the generous act of actually making them sourdough bread. And again, like that's not limited to just bread makers. If you're a musician or if you're a craftsman or woman, whatever that craft is, don't wait for things to be perfect, because perfection is a lie. As long as you are personally trying to improve yourself and your work, then that's more than enough reason for people to actually support what you do. So yeah, right now I made a couple of posts on my personal Instagram page where that page, so my feed will only contain all the fails that, all the, well, in quotes, fails that that I encounter, which is mostly on a weekly basis. So maybe that will encourage someone to put out their stuff out there for people to see and eventually, support. So yeah, I'm gonna post my Instagram handle in the description. If you'd like to listen on Spotify, then just search Wild Breads on Spotify. This is episode 10. If you want to support us on YouTube, then consider subscribing, but only if you want to. And that's it. So my hope is that I encouraged one home baker with this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.